they can consent at the age of 14 and legally, although what happens usually is the parents get involved and they say, no, 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 you did not give consent because, that's whorish and you're a little slut if you do. So you're going to say that you didn't give consent and then it was rape or whatever.
So I looked into this. In the U.S., it varies by state. 16-ish is kind of normal for consent. In the UK, it's 16 to consent to have sex, but it's 18 to send or receive porn. So, you can't send dick pics to 17-year-olds.
That actually reminds me. Also in the Constitution here in Canada, not only the statutory age of 14, and this is where it gets really messed up, you cannot consent to anal sex, and this is written right in there. You cannot consent to anal sex until you're 18. You can have sex.
Wow.
I'm telling you, dude, it's written right in there. You can consent to sex at 14. But you cannot consent till anal intercourse until you are 18. I'm telling you right now, you can look that shit up on there.
So what's the rusty trombone age in Canada?
When can you teabag someone? When are you allowed to teabag? I know it's stuff.
Before it's okay to have my chest.
I'm wondering, how do they enforce that law?
Let's start the podcast, guys. We got to get this going. All right, who's going to do the intro?
I'll do it.
All right. No 1, 5, 4, 3, 2.
I'm the VINILLAS. I'm high as shit. It's PK61.
Sexy vanilla freshness, bringing the rap. Nice. All right. So first, slowly, who are our guests tonight? Guns?
Yeah, Guns for Hire. Mainly, most of the time I'm on the gun shop just doing news lately, but I used to do a lot of gaming videos, but hey, what's going on?
Guns for Hire. And Hutch?
Yeah, my name is Hutch, and I'm the community manager for gaming videos on YouTube.
Oh, I knew you were going to do something like that.
All right. So anyone who's listening to this probably recognizes that Hutch's audio isn't as great as it could have been. What the deal with that is that Hutch is having PC issues, so instead of using Skype like we normally do, we had to Skype his cell phone, and that's why he sounds like he does. So
we should have done it from your private office at Respawn. Don't you have a private office? Or...
No.
We got a sound booth and fancy air conditioning and everything. It's way into the future. Let me tell you guys.
You probably do have a sound booth, right? At Machinima, it's a freaking recording.
Oh no, yeah. We totally have a sound booth.
And there is air conditioning. Technically, you're not lying.
But Hutch doesn't work in the sound booth. Hutch works from the skybox.
Right? Naturally. Yeah. Well, it contributes. I like to feel like I'm above people, so it contributes to that.
Don't like that. No.
No. I'm actually just teasing right now. I don't mean any of this seriously whatsoever.
All right.
Hey,
there's almost nothing to talk about this week. It's been so slow.
Yeah. Nothing really controversial.
Yeah, I guess we'll bring out the old mermaid thing again.
Yeah. Hey, Guns for Hire. You fuck a mermaid?
Would I? I don't know how to do that though. I totally would.
I'm about to tell you.
They look pretty hot. I'm just scared. Like on a fish, the scales sometimes kind of can be sharp. I think that get razor burn or something right on the crotch if I was trying to fit it in there.
Well, let me ask you this, and let's just pretend like she's one of those slimy fish, like an eel.
Nice.
You have two options. She could be fish from the waist down or fish from the waist up. And if she's fish from the waist down, let me just say this: fish from the waist down, you've got Jennifer Love Hewitt's upper half. If it's fish from the waist up, you've got Jessica Alba's ass. I just added that.
Oh.
Let me also put this out there: if you got fish from the waist up, you get 2 double doses of fish on. Couple times a month.
Listen, the bottom line is, biologically, I would take fish from the waist down because, first of all, I don't want to stare at any trout face. That would be, I just couldn't do it. It would be rough. And I know if it's fish from the waist down, she's got a working mouth. So that's right there. I'm golden on that.
There are positions in which her face doesn't matter at all.
Yes, there are.
I guess so.
Woody has been in situations in the earlier years of his life where knowing such things is very important.
And the other thing to keep in mind, fish from the waist up, not one option, but two options. Fish from the waist down, mouth only.
Hey, there's 3 options if it's the right kind of fish. One of those toothless fish? Let's do this.
No.
What do you know about that? I figured like me and the other 2 dudes who have ever answered that question with like fish from the waist up, we gangbang that fish mermaid pour. You lay it down, and I want the mouth. Yeah, me, Harley from Epic Mealtime, and definitely somebody else would be down for it. I guarantee it. We'll split a fish whore.
Man, topics like this are exactly the reason.
Would you put bacon on her?
I'd put bacon in her asshole and fuck it. I don't give a shit. Oh, that was over the top, wasn't it? Everybody got quiet.
Yeah. We're like, oh, where is this guy? You can hear Hutch is like, I'm not getting involved. As the community manager, like 2 cents in there.
You know, one topic that we have to talk about, and it was one of the things requested on my Facebook page, and it's been hot lately, is the N-word. We need to discuss it. And before we get into that in particular, I feel like I have been called out for not calling out people enough. And it's like, really? Like, how big a jerk? I don't, like, so a couple of guys in the community have dropped the N-bomb, right? Some did it in the, like, towards a black person in a negative way, and some did it, like, as a synonym for friend. And, you know, I watched 2 videos today that were like, Woody's gamertag hasn't said anything about this. And I'm like, wow. First of all, one of them was on, like, this channel I'd never heard of. It was like Battle Cambodia or something like that. I hadn't seen the video. I didn't know what he was talking about. And I've seen it since then, by the way. And
you didn't
it was
see
like
this obscure random video?
Yeah,
you racist
on a
bastard.
channel with like I don't know how many subs he has, but the channel escaped my notice all this time. I think it's in the Battle Cam community and not so much in the Call of Duty community. But yeah, so like I just feel like I'm under such a microscope of looking for perfection that I cannot. It's a standard that nobody could possibly meet. And to have to be mad at me for not being mad at other people for videos I hadn't seen, just guys, I'm like, if you're gonna look for flaws in me, you're gonna find them all the time.
Yeah.
Just a guy.
The thing about the way I feel about the whole N-bomb and and we've discussed it before. It's simply an issue of don't say it. You just don't say it. And the thing about it is, and this has come up in discussions about the word, if you pronounce the R, and especially if you pronounce it strongly, the one on the end, obviously, because there aren't any others, it sounds really racist. Now, I have said before. I've said it on the podcast before, in a joking manner. And I've heard Hutch say it too.
With your white hoods and stuff.
I've seen Hutch say it, and the way with the on the end. That's much more acceptable than someone saying the
You know why this is
I feel like we're kind of dancing. If you're going to talk about the word, you can say the word.
No, I'm not fucking saying it.
You know why I'm not saying it? Here, dude, Hutch, I was just about to cover that. So Kyle and I talked about this once in private. Now, I had no idea that using the R or not changes the tone of the word dramatically. Like, in my head, not using the R was just a little more street. Like, I didn't realize it was actually less offensive. And so Kyle is like, look, if you don't use the R, it's cool. I'm like, oh, so I can say, I'll try it, like nigga. And he's like, no, you use the R, use the R. I'm like, I'm not trying.
Back it up.
I'm not trying to. And then I tried it again. He's like, you still use the R, you can't let it go. And I'm like, I'm just staying away. Like, I want to touch it. I don't.
You're racist. It just can't let go of that R. I just,
That's what it is. It's my inner racist.
And the thing about like saying it, honestly, we're on the internet. And people you see the way people will like steal your audio clips and your video clips and make you into saying something that you weren't even saying at all. Somebody could say like, look how many times this guy drops the N-bomb in his podcast. Bam, 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 bam. Just one after the other. Like, no.
Well, I said the same thing that actually Hutch said on his Twitter too. And it's the same thing. It's all in, and see this, Hutch? I'm actually supporting you in something you said. Isn't that strange? But basically, he said it's all in the context in which you say it. I mean, if it's not meant that way, like X-Jaws is getting reamed. I saw his latest video, the one I think he put out today. He's getting hammered with dislikes.
All right, so let me cover that.
Can I say something here?
Yes, Wings. Robotussing us.
Bring it. Bring us your robo wisdom.
All right. I want to say words only have as much power as you're willing to give them. I find that more white people are offended by the word nigger than black people in general. I generally
You
grow up
said
around
DR.
a whole. Yeah, I said DR. I mean, I've said the word before.
Nothing.
I'm not some superhuman.
No.
I grew up around in a predominantly black area, and I got attuned to saying it because where I was from, it was cool. It was like meant friend. You like, what's up, nigga?
Yeah.
That kind of deal. But words only have as much power as you say it. Just because you say a word like nigger does not mean you're racist. You know what's racist?
Yeah.
Beating somebody in the field and telling them that you're better than them because you're white. That's racist.
Yeah.
Using a word that you give somebody power is not racism. That's a reflection of racism.
Just to piggyback off of what Wayne said a minute ago about this whole issue as well, is the fact that like people get sheepish when Wayne said the word right now. When we're talking about a word, nigga, we're talking about it objectively in the nature of the word.
You notice
And
he said the
people
R.
people get so sensitive about it that he can't even say it in that context when it's so clear that he's not saying it in a racist context. See, people stop being so sheepish about the word, and that's one of the reasons why Dave Chappelle did as well as he did. He took really uncomfortable issues and made them super public and made everybody more comfortable about it.
But that sheepishness as well.
I still think.
Oh, I thought I caught a break to jump in. I did.
No, you did. Go ahead.
All right.
Yeah.
So that sheepishness is well deserved, and I'll say why. So X-Jaws walked into the billionaire draft, and he was a little bit later than everyone else. And when he joined, he said, "What's up, my niggas?" with no R, using that word as a synonym for friend. And
clearly, you can tell.
Yeah, it was like it was not a racist intent, right? It was a synonym for friend. That's what he was going on, and he's getting blasted for it. And he's getting blasted as if he was racist, and that's off target. And that's why I just stay away from the word. That's why, it scares me to death. It's not in my everyday vocabulary. I want to keep it that way.
Exactly. When you have a public image to protect, and you have, your public image is a big part of your income, then it's just smart to stay away from controversial
you guys
subjects
want to get a
like
black
that.
guy's opinion on this?
Well, I mean, it really depends on the black guy you get. We get Hard 8 Times in here, and he would scream about it the whole time.
Oh, no.
Because he's incredibly offended by it,
wants to jump
apparently.
in.
Big Snacks, man, he's cool.
Yeah,
Well,
sure.
he's one of the good ones.
But
But
we
look
have a
at
show
someone
of
like
5
Bill
already.
Cosby.
So
You guys look at
let's
people
just
like
have
Bill
him stop by
Cosby.
for the
They're
topic.
completely against it. He doesn't even like any black person using it at all.
Right.
I
what I
will
mean?
say this though about the Hard 8 Times video. I found it really interesting in Hard 8 Times video where he's blasting people for using the N-bomb. He said the word faggot 3 times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He said the word faggot 3
Well,
times and talked about intolerant motherfuckers. And yeah, I just thought that was so just. I couldn't help but laugh. I couldn't take him seriously at that point.
Ironically, I encountered the same situation like a few months back when I posted a video of these two guys getting in an argument or whatever, and there was backlash about that because some people in this crowd were complaining that I wasn't moderating the comments or disabling the comments or taking the video down because of the public response.
When you say this crowd, I don't think you mean on the phone here.
Yeah, it wasn't us.
No.
We were completely supporting you.
No.
Right.
No, I'm making a very general statement when I say this crowd. There was a few people in the community, people that make video content. Yeah. And some of them actually, I encountered the same thing. You go through their videos and they'd say the word faggot numerous times, and it just made me crack up every time because you can't be hardline about prejudice. You not be hardline about that as well. It's just such a blatant contradiction.
Well, it's like hypocritical of them to do that.
I love when they're like, he's like, look at all these ignorant faggots out there using using these terrible words.
Yeah, faggot, won't you suck my dick?
Yeah, but guys, you have to remember that word is still sensitive to a lot of people.
Oh yeah,
So
now we're
just one
not
moment.
comparing the two. I think there's we are at a point, but I understand that the N word affects people much more strongly than the
just want to
the
jump
word
in.
faggot.
Onslaught
But
always tells me that I do this wrong.
I was just
Everybody,
saying that
this
if you're gonna have a
Big Snacks.
conversation where you talk about the N word, you can't be you can't be saying faggot the whole time and be taken seriously.
So Big
But I
Snacks,
get-
welcome to the show. God damn it!
Yeah.
Would you fucking give me? I'm trying to find a moment. Give me a
always
moment to
supposed to
introduce our guest.
I'm back in here. It's go time.
This is Big
Okay,
Snacks.
shut up.
Welcome to the show. Now everyone will know who he is as he talks.
Thanks, man. But yeah, man, that word affects people in numerous ways. There, I know people say you can use that word with the er or the ga, and there's a difference. True, there is a difference, but it all depends on which region of the world you're in. Here in the South, where I'm from and where Wings is at, it really makes no difference, especially in the state that I'm in. I'm in Alabama, so here, if you use that word, regardless, if you're not black, somebody's ass is getting whooped. It's just, you know, and just like I said in my video toward X Jaws, it wasn't that I was blasting him. I was like, you should use what you say. You should not say that word in the text. Even in the text that he used it, he was speaking to him as a friend. I understood that, but you got to remember, he is a very, very well-known dude in the community that we're in.
Yeah, I thought you were gonna say very, very white.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you call him a white boy.
He is very white. But
no, but I'm saying though, if those kids, y'all know the bullshit that goes on Xbox Live and PSN, and those little kids think that's okay to say. And sometimes they'll take it way too far, and you take it from Xbox Live to out in the real world, and it's just not gonna fly. Somebody's gonna get their head pushed in, and then somebody's gonna go to jail. Either way it goes, it's gonna affect somebody the wrong way. And it's best just to stay away from it. Go ahead.
Mind if I jump in real quick? Yeah, well, I was just about to ask, did anybody who's in this podcast right now, when they heard X-Jaws say that word, did anybody actually think to themselves, oh my God, Sam is a racist person? Or did everybody have a similar response that I did, where it's like, okay, he's saying what's up to his friends. Maybe he didn't realize they were streaming. Probably not the best idea to say it, but,
That was exactly my response.
I thought he was fucked up intoxicated.
Yeah, but being in the light that he's in, he has to realize that even though he's still a kid, he has to realize that the amount of people that do and try to emulate what he does, he has an effect on all those kids. You talking about 100,000 people that were listening to that stream. He knew they were streaming. He was trying to be cool, and he might have been fucked up, but you always have to remember that no matter what you do, somebody's always watching.
You hear that, Hutch? Know what I'm saying?
Well,
you hear that?
Whose parents are letting their kids watch that stream to begin with? You know what I mean? Clearly that stream was not intended for kids, but kids...
Same parents that let them play Call of Duty rated 18, play zombies.
I think I'm the only parent here.
Like those kids,
millions.
Kids are in an environment where they're clearly that's not their targeted demographic. Although they're never really going to watch it just because the fact that there are kids watching. You can't level that responsibility on X-Jaws, who is 17 years old. Of course he's not going to know how to be the best role model. He's not fully there yet. He's not an adult.
No.
There,
but you don't get off that easy. And X-Jaws, I'm sure he's smart enough to know better.
No, I'm contending, okay, common sense-wise, yeah, it's obviously you're going to stir the pot when you do something like that, but my personal opinion is that I wasn't offended by it. I don't think he had anything to apologize for. I appreciate cultural sensitivities, and I'm glad you brought up the fact that different states might as well be different countries. California and Alabama couldn't be more different. And the attitude towards that word in California is very not the same. It's not treated in the same way whatsoever. It's a light word here. It's an everyday word where I come from.
Right, and I understand that. Just like I said in my video today, I wasn't raised in Alabama. I'm from Alabama. I am initially a military brat. I've lived all around this world. I've dealt with all kind of people. I've dealt with different races my entire life. So I don't care what color or creed you are. You good with me. But being in the state that I'm in now, I have to explain to a lot of kids all the time that you just can't throw that word around loosely, because my kids live in a mixed neighborhood. but yet and still, we live in a mixed neighborhood, but yet and still, we still get looked upon as if we're not supposed to be here. And I have to do a lot of explaining on a daily basis to get my kids to understand, you know. And these are not people of my generation. These are people of older age and in a different generation. They're still
be nice.
Stuck in that thing,
Don't
you know?
be ageist.
Oh yeah,
you're a jackass.
It's a generational thing. Our generation is coming along to learn that it's okay to mix races and even genders, you know. But the older generation, they're not gonna let that go. And
we're not that far from that point in history, right? Where it still stings, where it still could have a sting.
Right.
A sting on and a reflection on what was the past, and not really that far off. I mean, Martin Luther King and all that shit. I mean, a lot of us, we are aware of that in history. A lot of the young ones, they don't know any of that stuff, man. They don't know any of that. It doesn't really affect them. They see rap videos and everything, and they think whatever. There's nothing wrong with it. But the older generation, the more mature, it's almost like confusing to us whether or not we can accept it, because the younger generation are embracing it and using it loosely, whereas we look back and say, damn, it has a really bad, connection to it. Right. What, are you seriously bringing in Keeps?
Yeah. So Keemstar is the I wasn't gonna bring up Keemstar specifically, but he actually sent me a text message.
Guys, just bear with me 1 minute. I gotta turn the volume down on the stream.
You said you were ready. You said you were ready. I said, are you ready? He said, I'm ready. All right, I'm gonna mute him for a little bit here.
Oh, we got ourselves a nice little clusterfuck on.
Yeah, I'd say so. Like
But we're gonna reduce the guests to 4, I think, at some point in here. But all right, so let me give a background while Keemstar is getting ready. Keemstar is on BattleCam. BattleCam is this environment where people like yell back and forth at each other. Well, sometimes they do crazy stunts. Sometimes they kind of have arguments, and there's this like-dislike thing. And while you're doing well, while you're entertaining, whatever that version of entertaining might be, it might be insulting someone, it might be being funny, it might be doing something physically crazy. Dan, you gotta mute yourself. You're ruining this. Stop it.
I don't
know what you're doing.
Sorry, guys.
Dragging shit around. This is my podcast. I'm gonna kick you off.
I just want to say that I'm just sitting here wondering why things are being like this.
So,
I brought Big Snacks in because he was black.
So anyway, he was in this thing.
I just want to go away now.
So he was in this on BattleCam, and in there they yell at each other and whatever. And if I have the backstory right, I don't even know. I've only seen a video or two. There was an admin who was like repeatedly booting him, and then it got him really upset, and he dropped the M-bomb repeatedly because he was so mad at the admin, and I think the admin was black. So Keem, are you ready to do your thing yet?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're good now.
Okay. So yeah, I mean, you basically described it very, very well. But I think what a lot of people are forgetting is me on the internet is completely different than a lot of commentators. FAG is us group of guys out trolling people and making them mad. And it was very easy for me to move into this website, BattleCam, where we're starting to talk smash or crap back and forth to each other. But yeah, I basically, as a group, we decided to use racism as our weapon to troll this guy. And this video's been out for forever. It's been out.
Did we lose Keemstar?
Keemstar. I think we should be talking about Somalian pirate.
All right.
What they don't understand is, Robot is black, 2 Bucks is Asian, and Duranker's half Hispanic and I'm white, and we make up FAG and we troll everyone. There's tons of our videos that are up where racism comes in and it's used as to make people mad. No one is truly racist. We're just trolls.
True, but your trolling affects people in a negative light, so why in the hell would you even do that shit?
I'm sorry if I hurt your feelings, but my goal is to hurt your feelings and to get a reaction from you. So
I know that because you built your reputation upon being an ass your whole entire career. I can understand that, and I can appreciate you trying to be a shock jock. But some shit just don't need to be said.
Well, I think the most important thing is to know is that there's no hatred in my heart. There's no hatred in my heart. And, I don't hate any race. And I want to make sure if there's any fans of mine that are out there watching that are black that think that I don't like you, that's not true. That's not true. If you came across this video and you're like, oh, Keemstar hates me because of my race, that is simply not true.
You would hire them in an instant, right?
For what?
I'm just
Get a black baby in here so I can kiss it? I'm confused. What are you saying?
I think it was a joke that didn't work out.
I was gonna go down there. I stopped it midway. I was like, I'm not gonna go there.
Yeah.
For
You know
shits and
what?
giggles.
You know what? Hard Eight Times is going to yell at me for whatever joke you didn't complete. That's how this is going to go down. It always does. It always does.
That's looking back again. Looking back, going, not doing it.
I ignored that guy a long time ago.
You guys want to move off the race topic?
Yeah, we're
might
gonna
as
take off,
well.
guys. Thank you for letting me defend my position. And again, if anyone is really, really offended, I'm sorry. What can I say? That was my goal in the beginning.
Let me say this in Keemstar's defense. Somebody linked me that
I
video.
just have a little word that I'd like to just drop in. This is the horrible Al David. I am half black, and Keemstar is my bitch.
all right. On that note, let's Big Snacks, Keemstar, thanks for coming on.
See you guys.
Yeah, appreciate it, fellas.
Yeah.
All right.
On the closing on that topic, I'm saying Keemstar's defense. I seen that video and it didn't affect me at all because I'm like, well, that's DJ Keemstar. He's trying to get a rise out of somebody.
By the way, our next guest is Satan.
You know what? A similar thing happened. El Prez put up a video saying that bumping was terrible, and then he started bumping it. And it's just like,
I think it's doing kind of. I saw your tweet on that. I actually did find that funny too. I think
found
maybe.
it funny too. It was like, a lot of guys they take what he's saying really seriously, and it's like you shouldn't because he's not.
Yeah.
He's just out there doing his brand of troll entertainment. And,
I think he's supposed to be attacking me soon. Actually, I think he said he was going to be doing a video on some sort of response soon, but.
Really?
I'm looking forward to. Actually, even Fisticuffs told me he was gonna do it. He's like, dude, don't take him seriously. I'm like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? When El Presador goes on his rampage,
sometimes just that's what happens.
Some channels are built on trolling other ones, and
yeah,
that's one of them. That's what they do. All right, I'm gonna let Kyle pick the next topic. Are we gonna talk about the gunshot video?
All right,
or your choices.
I got some. Okay.
I wanted to talk about that tourists can now pay to be on luxury yachts and go off the coast of Africa and be bait for Somalian pirates, but they are armed with heavy artillery. So it's like a trick.
Well,
so they wait for the pirates to attack them, and then all the supposed tourists pull out fucking like heavy artillery machine guns.
Yeah, but you know what? I think that's
heavy artillery, like fucking anti-airplane guns and shit.
Yeah, they're pulling out 20mm machine guns and like fucking Ma Deuces and shit.
They got motherfucking cranks and shit on it with big old.
Yeah, like they're basically the idea is basically to discourage the piracy in that area, and like they found a way to actually make money at it as well. So like you can pay and go on this like vacation where you may get into a gunfight.
No, dude. There was something like that a while ago, and that was turned out to be a bullshit thing that they were talking about. It was like this actually, the same thing happened probably about a year and a half ago, 2 years ago. They had the same, exactly what you're talking about. They talked about this where you could pay, you could choose your weapons. I went on there, not that I was going to do it, but I went on there to say, take a look at it and go, wow, like that's messed up. But it turned out that particular one was bullcrap, and it seems to be one of these things that are rehashing. Because I heard the same thing. They had prices of RPG rockets, and they said,
yeah, that's bullshit. They're not gonna have RPG rockets. I know the guy who's doing it though. Like I know for sure that they are doing it. Yes, I know the person who's like setting up one legitimately because he's somebody who got me a weapon recently. They were talking about making it. They were talking about making it really expensive because the insurance and everything was going to be a huge liability.
Would they change the vacation for advertising? Because this sounds cool.
Yeah, I would so want to do this.
Dangerous, dude. Cool.
Who wants to watch me kill a pirate on my channel?
I'll watch you guys, but I ain't doing it. I'll tell you that.
Like,
I would.
Wings of Redemption, and we have a pirate ship coming in us right now. AA gun time.
It's heavily armed, and that is not something that I would.
Wait. It's just occurring to me, right? Like Wings, Kyle, and I don't pretend to be a gun nut on their level, but we'd be into this, right? Maybe we have a PKA sponsor. You be
I would go on a
gangsta.
heartbeat.
You were
Yeah,
gangsta.
We have a new sponsor for Painkiller already, right? For the next 6 weeks, if they let us go on this thing, I'll be like, brought to you by PirateHunting.com or whoever the heck they are.
Dude,
Technically,
Just for
200
hire.
miles of any coast there's no country. It's
International
not,
waters.
like-
I
yeah,
don't
international waters. So you can do whatever the hell you want and not be subject to a particular nation's.
But if a ship captain takes you on and brings you back in pieces after a Somali pirate chops you to shreds, there could be legal ramifications after that, like, for like negligence.
Yeah.
Like, why did you allow my 18-year-old son to go with you and get chopped up by Somali pirates?
Yeah.
look here. I don't care what a fucking Somali pirate has. If you have a couple boats with a couple AA guns on it, he ain't doing shit to you.
Of course not. That's why they go after like shipping lanes and luxury yachts and stuff like
AA
that.
gun
for
would tear a
hostages,
fucking
cargo.
pirate ship to pieces in like fucking minutes.
Yeah, I think I've brought this up
Good
before.
then. You're telling me how that works out.
I think
would
I've brought
do it
this
in a
up
heartbeat.
before, but I wish the Somali pirates had a sense of humor and came out on like old school sailboats and wore like the pirate gear, had parrots, pegless, and like they got on loud people like yar.
Oh my god, you're messed up.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, just about okay, they got some AK-47s and shit. You have a 20mm machine gun. You are fucking their world up.
Yeah.
20,
No.
150, right, Kyle? That's how we roll.
I'm getting a 105. Yeah,
Is that what it is, a 105?
105. It's a howitzer. It's
Dude, I'm just
It's for
saying, you be
school.
shooting at them before they're even in range.
What is
Hey.
that thing that Russia sat on? Was that
no,
the
that's a 40
105?
millimeter. That's a bitch gun compared to a 105 millimeter.
Oh,
Okay.
my bad.
Dude, is Hutch still with us?
Yeah, he's right there.
Yeah,
And I
what
pointed across my bedroom, by the way.
is- Do you want
That's
to...
racist.
oh,
that
oh,
would
there,
kill
that's pretty
Somali
cool.
pirates.
I just wasn't sure. He was so quiet. He's like, I'm not talking about pirates.
Now, if we have
No, the quality of the phone sucks, so I'm trying to only talk when I should or something. I don't know.
You can't.
Do we want? Is there an issue at hand that we wanted to get to with Hutch? Is there some? I like honestly, I don't follow. I try not to follow the silliness that goes on, and that's not me like trying to say like I'm better than it or anything. I just like don't like getting involved. And
I can set it up.
Yep, set it up.
All right, here we go. So,
Set the Coliseum.
Guns for Hire has a YouTube channel called The Gun Shop, and by and large, it covers gaming news, right? Like things that he scours all these different websites and sometimes puts two and two together and figures things out. And he uploaded a video a few days ago where he talked about the gaming community, and it sort of broke down into two halves. In the first half, he had this absolutely brilliant analogy with, like, he called the boys being like Wings, Jaws, me, White Boy, Guns, and other guys as gladiators, which was just awesome. I like being gladiator. And we're out there putting up our videos, competing for the approval of the crowd, right? You know, and around this gladiatorial arena, there are weapons on the ground. And which weapons are okay to use and not okay to use change. It's a moving line that happens all the time. People forget that when giveaways first happened, people loved them. The crowd roared in approval. Yes, we love giveaways. I don't remember if X-Jaws or White Boy was the first in our little community. There was definitely other people who did it outside of our community. And Jaws got a big check, and then all of a sudden he started investing big money into giveaways. He wasn't giving away $20 Xbox cards. He was giving away iPads, I think PS3s, headsets like Beats by Dre, which are apparently really precious. I don't know much about them. But he was giving away like real prizes. And in exchange, people would favorite the video. And the crowd was just roaring with approval. It was this great, great thing. And then it changed. All of a sudden, the crowd said, no, 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 boo, boo. That's not an okay weapon to use, you know, in your little, you know, gladiator, you know, competing for the attention of everybody. And this line moves all the time, and you sit there and you do your very best to be the most entertaining guy, to be the guy that the crowd likes. And that was the first half of the video. The second half of the video, he called out Hutch and Steeners individually and said, you know, you guys, being in this, you know, position, an employee of Machinima, have a heightened responsibility to sort of stay out of this, right? You shouldn't be, you know, attacking your own directors, you know, the people that earn money that make Machinima go round, or at least partly. That you shouldn't be attacking these guys because, you know, you don't like the weapon that they picked up. And that's, you know, I set it up okay, and we basically describe what we got going on here.
I think Hutch didn't want the analogies in there, but
Oh, he didn't?
but you set it up.
No, we don't we don't need to be too sensitive about this. Like, it's fine. I don't have my feelings hurt. I never did, and I'm not feeling standoffish whatsoever. I'm on here because I feel like you and me are adults, you know, like, so we should be able to have a conversation.
For sure.
And potentially set a good example, you know, that a flame war doesn't have to go on fueled by armies of trolls behind them that inevitably only exacerbate it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Hutch, do you think guns for hire? Like, so I guess I'll set this up. Hutch, you and I have spoken privately many times. Many being like 2 or 3, and
we talk more than that, bro.
Okay, call it under 6-ish. I don't know, something like that. But we've talked privately, and I've basically told Hutch, like, look, man, like, if you see something I do that you don't approve of, you Skype, not Twitter. You know, because what you do is you unintentionally, I think, you know, send armies of people. You influence them and you set their mind in a given way. When really, like, my Homefront review is a safe example, was really meant to be good intentioned. You know, and I knew that anytime you say anything negative about anything, you're going to set yourself up for the people who disagree. If you like something, they love it. If you don't like it, whatever. But I felt obligated to put out how I felt about the game. Now, I should have called it First Impressions instead of review. But if you wanted me to know that, Twitter wasn't the place for it. Skype was.
Wait. Hold on. Are we having a conversation about you and me right now?
No.
Because listen, the last time I came on, I was backed into a corner, and that's not going to happen this time. So
no, look. The reason that was my attempt at full disclosure. That was my attempt to say, you know, I know that we've had the same conversation in private that Guns just had in public, which is, you know, is it appropriate for guys like you and C-Nanner to you know, from your elevated position, from you're not in that gladiatorial arena. You're safe. You don't get paid by the views.
But when you set it up like that, you set it up under this. You're setting it up under this pretense that we all agree with guns. Go. So then it's an automatic 4v1 situation.
You know,
and I'm not gonna. I don't want to. I'm not gonna go down that road. If we're gonna want to have a conversation, let's have a conversation.
Hutch,
sorry, that's me being assertive. I'm not pissed. I just want to avoid. I want to avoid being pissed. So I'm being proactive.
In all honesty, Hutch, I do sincerely have an easy way to express this without backing you in the corner and sort of explaining why it is I think that I attacked you. And I think it'll make things a lot easier. In all honesty, I mean, putting my ego aside, because I thought about this a lot, like especially knowing that you were coming on here, and I had to analyze why it is that I did that, why it is that I came down hard on you. And it, you know, whenever you do a video, any video, and even on the news, when I do a video, the second that it's out and I start reading the comments, I'm like, shit, I totally shouldn't have said that, or I totally didn't get my point across, or I should have put it in this context or mentioned this. And sometimes I have to do follow-up videos. And I think the same thing applies here. And I'll, by all means, let you speak first if you want to. But I did sincerely think about this way more, you know, in light of this potential conversation we were going to have. And if I can, I would like to sort of describe it to you what I think best happened in my mind and why all of a sudden I attacked you, like outside of what that video is. But I mean, if you want to share your opinion first, that's cool.
No, you know what? I absolutely believe that you're being sincere when you say that you give it a lot of thought. And I would actually appreciate you going further. That's another sincere statement right there.
Okay. We're being so sincere, and it's so...
The lens crafters semi-endless set